Welcome back, you guys. And this is gearing up for Crawl Masters. Jay, tell them about Crawl Masters.
It's going to be ASD Crawl Masters 2019, hosted by Oscar and Brandon. Shout out to y'all for hosting another great annual event that brings out all the best crawlers throughout the Bay Area and California and beyond to see who's
Yeah, we got people coming out from Puerto Rico, man.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Holy
That's
snap.
what's up.
Yeah, your peoples, man.
Yeah,
Your
they're-
peoples.
But we also got our builder here, NMP, and Nick's driving in this event as much as I am. And what do you think, man?
It's been an interesting experience because Pigeon Point, the location that they picked, has multiple terrains I'm talking 100-foot strip. You'll hit 3-4 different types of rock. Everything from high grip to covered in algae and slippery. It is actually screwed with my setup a lot because I normally run about a 6.5 to 7 pound truck. That is my sweet spot for our local terrain out here at Rockway. And it's good enough to go out and have fun with and hang with the other people when we hit places like Mount Diablo. But in the couple weekends of testing, I have just been trying to figure out ways to shed 1.5 pounds off my truck because with the wet, slippery surfaces, the heavy truck is just not grabbing traction and pulling itself up the hill. It's just sliding right back down. So, it's kind of put me and a lot of other people into a scramble. And there's other things that they're going to be requiring, like a servo winch and all that stuff, or any type of winch. It doesn't have to be just a servo winch, but that is screwed with a lot of us because we don't run winches here at Highway 1 RC. Nobody really does. I mean, most of us are either you make the line or you don't.
But I like it's because it's kept this guy on his toes for like the last 3 weeks. He's flipped and changed his truck and moved it this way and that way, and I think he's got it dialed in. I'm pretty ready to see him drive, man. And
Did you knock off 1.5 pounds?
So I knocked off some weight. I pulled some wheel weights. I did some other things. I actually took the original truck that did really well for me one day out there, and I started making changes. Now, guys, this is my first competition, and I'll tell you right now, that's a huge mistake because I went out and tested with a truck that I just built and I never drove before, and I'll tell you what, I had a really bad day that day. I actually left the course frustrated, and it taught me something. Sometimes, no matter what you see other people running, let them run that. If you're comfortable with what you're driving, bring that out. And that's a hard thing for me because I have ADD. I constantly want to be on the cutting edge. I want, this part and that part, and I'm always paying attention to what other people's rigs are doing, but I gotta remember, I build my rigs for myself. And other people don't build their rigs for me. Build for you. Build for what works for you.
well, what you built works for me because this is an NMP build right here.
Well, okay, so trade secret, I build trucks that are better than I am as a driver, so it makes me look really good when I'm on the trail. So, this guy right here, this is going to be a gamble for Crawl Masters because Chris is going to be running a 13-inch wheelbase there, which is long for tiny tires. And, if there's a lot of inclines where the long wheelbase will help, he will get through that easier. If the course is tight, and he will have a hard time maneuvering the tight course. But it's a gamble because if the course is going to be biased towards long wheelbase trucks, this is going to be the long wheelbase truck showing up. Everybody else is showing up with 11.5 to 12.3 max.
But that's if we get it running because it's still in pieces right now.
That's fine.
24 hours, not even, we got 12 hours.
We'll have it
18
running
hours.
tomorrow morning when we get there.
All right, but we also got this because just in case I don't feel comfortable with this is just the stock Venture on just some 1.9s. And me and Jay, more than anything, shout out to Dan Thompson from Santa Cruz, man. We've been on the phone rapping. I've been rapping with everybody. It's been real cool. Chino, everybody.
Yeah.
And Dan was like, man, just go have fun, dude. He said, run something where you can run a 3S and just go to town. And then, what, I'll tell you this. That's why we're gonna try to get this up and running by tomorrow. And we're gonna enjoy it for a little bit. But if it's not conquering what we think it is, we're probably gonna run this. But more than anything, I want to see. So look, I had the new Kaiser. That was the truck. That was it. But man came, he's like, yo, Chris, let me get it. I was like, cool, do your thing. I want to see him actually get out there and go hard because He actually decked it out. It was just stock electronics when we got it, right?
Yeah, so I ended up stripping the truck that I reconfigured with all the parts and everything else everybody else was doing, and set the new Kaiser up closer to my builds. I mean, obviously it's a different truck, but I mean, my setup is my setup, and I know what it's gonna do.
But we both liked that truck though, like the way it felt. Like there was something about the way you had it set up. It was great.
It's just because I kept it super light, and I mean, once again, I mean the trend that these crawlers are going to is keep it as light as possible, and because of that, that truck just felt solid. It crawled up a lot, but we never got it into loose traction situations where I favor my 6.5 pound truck because it's heavy enough to get biked down on the ground and pull itself up.
What tire are you gonna run on that thing?
So I am running KLR MT in the Vex compound. I have Little Nova foams in there. I chose the 4-inch foams to give the tires a little give. 2-stage, regular inner, soft outer up front, regular inner, medium outer out in the rear. And that's just, it's an easy tune. You don't have to go crazy. And especially with foams and tires, once again, this comes down to what works for you. You could spend $1 million trying to tune your setup by using everybody else's, but it all matters how it feels to you.
And drive your truck. Just drive it. Don't change it in the first 12 minutes every time. Give it a day or two or a week, month. Just drive it.
Yep.
And you'll learn things that maybe it's you, not the truck in some.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
cases.
driver mod's a real thing.
Not in this case, but
Wait. Time's out. One thing. Hold on. We're gonna pause the camera. All right, we got it. Nick's holding it. Nick, tell him. This is one of the things that Highway 1 is running in all our trucks. It don't matter if you're running the RTR, an NMP, what is it, man?
All right, so this right here, this is Corrosion X. We run in salt water. We do horrible things to our truck. This also counts as a waterproofer. Now let me say lightly that is a waterproofer, because this, if you spray it on your receiver, you run your truck through the water all day, blah, 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 you're gonna wanna spray it again. This is not a one-time application. Now what I do, like with Pigeon Point, Crawl Masters in here, is I'm trying to get in good habits of taking care of my truck. So what I do, I go home, I pop the tires off, because you do not want this on your tires. It will screw your tires up. It will make them slick. It will make them just completely useless. Take it off, spray your truck down with this. I can go a step further. Once this is on, I will simple green my truck, wipe it down, spray it down again with Corrosion X.
I don't do that.
Well, we've seen the Traxxas, so we know what's up.
But see, that's what's good.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
All our perspectives are different. See, we're not gonna, because we're still testing these things. This has never been cleaned, and this is a RTR, and we want to show you how far these will go before they'll break. But one thing is, like, he's got performance. These are our comp trucks, our performance vehicles. I don't know if you remember the very first one we got was the Power Wagon. One of the most amazing trucks we had. We busted it up, but look, Nick still keeps coming.
Yeah, protect your investments. If you got $800 to $1,000 in your truck, I mean, hey, if you want to let it get thrashed and not care about it and ruin your truck prematurely, go for it if you got the money. But I don't have endless amounts of money just to be dropping into these things, so I take care of what I have.
And he's doing it the right way because it looks good.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, obviously you guys can see it's raining now. This is going to be our weather for tomorrow, plus some thunderstorms, which is going to make the course extremely interesting. Ooh. I may end up just doing a go for broke run. If everybody lays down a slow time, I'm going to take the chance and go for it. It'll be a DNF or I'll finish well, one of the two.
Honestly, at the end of the day, have fun, bro.
Right?
And I believe you can clear all 30 gates. Just take your time. You ain't gonna get struck by lightning.
Not a race.
Hey,
it's Crawl Masters.
Check this
Not
out.
a race.
See the height? I'm getting struck by lightning first.
Putting that out.
See you guys later, man. We're on the trail.